Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's talk about inorganic elements and how these can be transformed by different microbial processes. Now, different types of microbes and different types of microbial processes, these can affect the state of inorganic compounds and contaminants. We know that inorganic contaminants and compounds, these cannot be destroyed completely, these cannot be mineralized as such. However, their valence state can be transformed by different microbial processes. Those can be changed from oxidized to reduced forms. Depending on their different types and forms, their toxicity can be high or low. Now, different microbes can change the speciation of so many different inorganic elements and compounds. When their states are changed, when their species and speciation is changed, this also affects their mobility and therefore their toxicity as well. Why so? Because some forms of inorganic molecules are less soluble while others are more soluble, and same goes for their toxicity. There are different types of reactions that can be brought about by microbes when we talk about inorganic elements and their compounds. For example, precipitation is there, volatilization is there, sorption and solubilization as well. Now, there are also microbially catalyzed redox reactions, oxidation reactions, which can also affect the fate of these inorganic molecules and compounds. They can also lead directly to the reactions that can alter the mobility of these compounds and therefore their toxicity as well. In other cases, the microbial processes can indirectly affect these compounds. Why so? Because when the microbes are performing different biochemical reactions as normal routine, they can change the geochemistry of the area surrounding them. They can change the pH of the soil surrounding them, and if some inorganic element and compound is present in vicinity, that can affect and its state can be changed. So yes, microbes can also indirectly affect the speciation of these inorganic compounds. Immobilization can also be brought about by microbes in microbial biomass or microbial exopolymers which they secrete outside their cell. So उस पे भी ये inorganic molecules जो हैं, elements जो हैं, वो वहाँ के आके bind कर सकते हैं, immobilize हो सकते हैं वहाँ पे. They can be different types of such processes. For example, hydrophobic sorption can be there, complexation can be there, or incorporation can be there as well in the microbial cell mass. So microbial biomass जो है वो ना सिर्फ redox reaction करा सकता है inorganic molecules में, लेकिन उनको immobilize कर सकता है अपनी surface के ऊपर भी और internal of the cell body as well. Now once it happens, biomass के ऊपर जब ये absorption या sorption हो जाए different inorganic compounds की, especially the toxic ones, the biomass should be removed from there and should be disposed of. तो ही उसकी bioremediation complete होगी. Otherwise, if biomass has attached or sorbed the toxic inorganic molecules and elements, however, the biomass still remains at the site, so there is no use. So the biomass has to be removed once it has sorbed the inorganic elements and compounds. The most found reactions are obviously oxidation-reduction reactions performed by different types of microbes towards different types of inorganic elements and their compounds. This figure here is basically a plot, a graph that shows the effect of pH on reduction potential for various inorganic species. You can see here the pH from 0 to 14, and this is the watt value, and there are so many different pair of compounds, the oxidized and the reduced forms. The forms written on the left side, these can behave as electron acceptors. Once they accept the electrons, these are converted to reduced forms which are shown on the right side. For example, you can see here oxygen can and does serve as electron acceptor, and once it accepts the electron, it can be converted to water reduced form. Over here you can see here ferric Fe3 can be converted to Fe2, and so many other elements are there as well, and the compounds. So these reactions are basically pH dependent. Depending on the pH, the reactions will proceed differently. Now any of the oxidized species which were the members written on the left side in the previous figure can behave as electron acceptor, and once they behave as electron acceptor, these are converted to their reduced forms which were shown on the right side in the previous figure. नाउ जो डिफरेंट लाइंस थी वहाँ पे हमने शो कर रहे थे, वो शो कर रही थी कि कितने एनर्जेटिकली फेवर्ड रिएक्शन है वो. यू सॉ ओवर देयर द एनर्जी, जो ऑक्सीजन की जो लाइन है वो काफ़ी ऊपर थी. सो ऑक्सीजन इज़ द मोर फेवर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेप्टर एज कम्पेयर टू अदर स्पीशीज. सिर्फ 2-3 ऐसे थे जो ऑक्सीजन से भी ऊपर थे, बट ऑक्सीजन इज़ द मोस्ट प्रेफर्ड फॉर्म. वाई सो? बिकॉज इट इज़ मच मोर energetically efficient. So therefore it is much more favored electron acceptor. There are other electron acceptors which are also known to serve the different types of microbes. For example, sulfate, we know there are so many sulfate reducing bacteria, but obviously those are mostly anaerobic, and the reactions are slow, their growth rate is slow as well. And you saw in that figure कि जो sulfate की line थी वो ऑक्सीजन की लाइन से बहुत नीचे थी. सो इट मीन्स कि वो एनर्जेटिकली इतना फेवर्ड नहीं है वो रिएक्शन. हाउएवर सल्फेट डज सर्व एज इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सेप्टर, स्पेशली व्हेन द कंडीशंस आर वेरी हाईली रिड्यूसिंग. So we will talk more about how these organic elements can be transformed biologically by different microbial systems in our next lessons.